Wow. Yeah. In all seriousness, this movie was pretty insane. So I just got done watching The Northman, and I had a blast. Absolutely loved it. In the background, that is the Nordic symbol saying The Northman. This movie achieves it's really hard to say. It is it is top tier cinematography. The direction and everything that went in this movie, I absolutely loved. I was in it from the beginning. Granted, there are some scenes in this movie where I kind of felt a bit queasy. Other than that, yeah, it's a very, very, very grotesque film. There are scenes in this movie where you're gonna want to like turn around or walk out, because there was multiple times where I felt like that. But I kept pushing through. I really was sorry. I felt like burping there. I really wanted to finish watching this movie. So before actually talking about this movie, it's gonna be hard talking about it because there are a lot of spoilers, because it's a pretty linear path and one thing always leads to another. So I'm just gonna give my thoughts, I guess, like how I thought about it, and then I'm gonna give like a final verdict. What I thought about it, like I said, absolutely amazing film. I was enjoying it throughout. There are some problems where it doesn't make sense. The trailer does spoil a lot of things. There are things in the trailer where you wish you didn't see it, and then when you do watch the movie, you're like, well, obviously this is gonna happen. So it kind of ruins some of the intense scenes. Action, it's pretty good. Action's pretty good. It's not like your typical Marvel CGI. Special effects everywhere. Obviously there's special effects, but it felt very real. Like it felt like a very gruesome, brutal action. Not an action movie, but like very serious movie. And I give it praise for that. We haven't gotten a movie like this in quite a while. We're mostly getting comic book movies, video game movies, and this felt like a big refresher. The acting in this movie is absolutely amazing. There are scenes where I really felt like the actors were giving it their all. This feels like an Oscar-worthy nomination, honestly, for pretty much the main character, especially the main character. God, he destroyed it in this role. The side characters, other than I guess, well, Ethan Hawke, because in the trailer, well, yeah. And that's pretty much all I could say about the movie at the moment, because if I keep talking about it, I'm 100% going to be spoiling the movie. So, for final verdicts, like I said, there are there are a bit of problems in the movie where, well, personally for me, I just didn't really like. There's a lot of parts in this movie where the main character should have died, like 100%, and the movie didn't go that way, and I felt very weird. I was like, okay, I guess I'll just accept the fact that this happened. So I would give it probably, give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Definitely an 8 out of 10. This movie is definitely worth theater admission. I would 100% go watch this. And yeah, you're definitely going to have a good time. It's one of those movies where you have to be in the mood for it as well. So you can't just expect, funny scenes, funny everything, and this is that. No, it's going to be, okay, this is what's happening. This is what you need to know. All right, we're going here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I really love this movie. Other than that, yeah, this will be it for the spoiler-free section. We're gonna head to the spoiler section. So if you guys don't want to hear this, and if you guys actually wanted to see the movie yourself, I would advise you go watch the movie and then come back to this video. And then you can hear my thoughts about the movie. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. And I guess I'll just see you guys in the next video. See you guys.
I cannot escape my fate.
Oh my god. Okay, so now since we actually could talk about the movie, this movie was pretty wild. There are a lot of brutal scenes, especially the beginning, with you know, all the chanting and, you know, all the death and them taking over pretty much everything. It's a very weird type of film, but you get used to it so fast where you're just like, okay, this is what we're watching? Okay, I'm in. So I guess I'll just talk to you guys about how the movie goes, basically step by step, chapter by chapter, and I guess we'll take it on from there. But basically the synopsis of the movie is, so I can't remember any of the main characters' names. I'm very sorry, but everybody's name is incredibly hard to remember in this movie, which is also one of its flaws. I just call them by, like, throughout watching the movie, I was like, oh, main character needs to do this. Cool. Oh, side character needs to do that? Alright, I guess we're doing that. So, main character, basically, he's the prince of this kingdom, and Ethan Hawke is the king of this kingdom, and it's just day by day showing what he does, and then Ethan Hawke gets killed, and the prince, I guess main character, basically goes on a revenge story throughout the whole entire movie, trying to kill his father's killer, and that's pretty much it from what I could say. Now, don't get me wrong. I know, synopsis sounds like a very typical revenge story. This is not your typical revenge story. It is absolutely bonkers. So, I guess, we'll start it off in the beginning. So, at the beginning of the movie, main character, we see him as a kid. He's waiting in the kingdom. He's waiting for his father to come back home. His father went on an expedition, and I guess he's coming back because the kid is waiting by the window for I don't know for how long. And his father's coming back, and he's just screaming to everybody, "Oh, the king is back! The king is back! Dad's back!" He's like telling his mom and everything, and then the mom is like, "Oh, he's back. Okay, let's go say hi to him." So they go and see the king and everything. They're all, you know, have like a big happy reunion and such, and basically it's just basically everybody sitting with each other. You're just meeting the characters for the first time. So you see the brother of the king, you see the queen, you see the jester, you see everyone who's going to play an important role later on into the story. So then they get down to eating, and then they basically announce that the kid, the main character, he's going to be the new ruler eventually, and he's just basically letting everybody know, oh, this is the new person, because he's obviously getting old, and it shows that he has a lot of battle scars, and he's probably gonna die soon. So we see the brother. The brother comes in. It doesn't seem too happy about that. He looks quite mad at Ethan Hawke, and they play it off like it's nothing. Obviously, if you've seen the trailer, you already know where this is going. It's quite predictable. I already knew it. I wish I didn't see it in the trailer. But anyway, so you see it you see them talking with each other. Everything happens. He has a kid. The brother has a kid, and everything. They're all like, "Oh, great! Everything happened. We did our expedition, and everything went well. Let's feast." After that, basically the queen, and the king, they're all they're all in a room together, and the king is saying, all right, so I'm getting too old. He's basically saying I'm getting too old for this shit, and the his son basically needs to take up the mantle. The queen doesn't really approve of that, but he's like saying, "Oh, my grandfather did it before me, and before and everything." So then the queen was like, "All right, sure, I'm down." Pretty much. And then after that, we get cut to a very, very, very weird scene. So the king gets his son. He's like, okay, so we're gonna do this little ritual to announce basically you're the new person, right? So he grabs this chalice, or he grabs this jewel or jewelry or whatever that goes around the arm, puts it in blood. Don't know what type of blood it is, but he puts it in blood, and then they go into this room, like put it on together, and then the boy is scared. He's like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. So the king goes, just follow my lead. Do it exactly what I would do, and they start barking like a pack of dogs. So I know this has to take into Viking and Norse mythology, that type of stuff, Odin and everything. It's just, I guess, seeing it for the first time happening like that, it felt kind of off-putting. I mean, throughout the movie you get used to it, but like that's like the first time you see it, and they just throw it at your face. They just start barking like a wild beast and just growling at each other and just running around. And they're also running around naked, by the way. I mean, they have underwear on, but like they're pretty much naked because you could see through the underwear. And they're running around. William Dafoe is on the other side, basically saying, "Oh, do you take thee? Oh, you think you're just dogs? Prove to me, prove your worth to everyone. Prove your worth to your father, to the king." And they're just growling at each other. This guy has a bucket of weird muck and puts it right in front of them, and they just start eating it like they haven't eaten in like 13 days. They feel like they've been in prison for their whole life. And then pretty much after that, they finish eating, and then William Dafoe walks up to Ethan Hawke, asks him a question. I can't remember the question, but he asks him a question, and Ethan is like saying, "Oh yes, I want him to be the new heir. I need him to be the new heir. He will define generations," or something like that. "Oh, Odin, please do weird crap, I guess." I'm trying to simple it down as great as I can because it's very hard to understand a lot of things in this movie. This movie is, it's like I said, it's very weird. So then he goes to the boy, and then he asks the boy, "Oh, and what about thee? What do you want? Are you a lap dog, or are you top dog? And they're basically, the smoke just fills the room, and it feels like you're having a hallucination. You're freaking out. It's like I felt like I was high, but I wasn't high throughout the movie. They're just chanting. They're talking about, "Oh yes, I will be the best. I will do the best. I will not stop. Yes, I want to be the king. Yes, he should be the king." And it just goes on for quite a while, and then afterwards it stops. And then, right after, it went all back to normal. We just see them walking out into the wilderness one day, and then Ethan Hawke gets shot by an arrow. Obviously, you know where this is going if you've seen the trailer. After he gets shot by an arrow, he gets shot multiple times, and he's telling the kid to run. The kid runs behind a rock, and then, oh, the mysterious villain, it comes from the shadows, takes it out. Who would have thought? He has a helmet on. He gets off his horse, walks up to Ethan Hawke, takes off the helmet. Who would have thought? It's the brother. Quite obvious. And then he's just saying, "Oh, the kingdom should be mine," and everything. Yada, villain crap monologue. And then Ethan's screaming at him, "Strike me! I will die by your sword. At least I died with honor." Basically trying to get the last words. And pretty much he gets his head chopped off full on. Well, first he gets stabbed in the neck, pretty much like hanging on to dear life, and then boom, head gets chopped off. Everybody's chanting with basically the brother's the new king, so they're chanting with him, basically his lackeys. And then they see the boy, and then he goes, "Oh, get the boy!" I'm pretty much inciting that they want to kill him. So the boy starts running. They start chasing him. He gets caught by one person, and he grabs a knife. Well, first the guy pulls out a knife, and he's about to stab him. Apparently, the boy had a secret knife. Grabs him, slices off his nose. You get to see everything. The blood just squirts at this kid's face. It's just hitting him like that while, he's just speaking and screaming. It is absolutely brutal. Immediately right afterwards, he runs to shore. Well, no, he didn't. No. Before we get to that, so he runs back to the base, basically their kingdom, and he sees people dying. Like, right when he's about to walk through the gates, some lady falls, cracks her head open right in front of him. And then he just sees people getting killed left and right. And then he finds a rope, puts it over, and basically trying to conceal himself. See, and then there's this scene in the movie. I'm watching it with my friend, and like we're just seeing it play out. So he's hiding from these people, and then he sees like these group of people that are still alive, obviously slaves and everything, and he basically joins them. But there is an enemy in front of him, okay, and anyone that isn't in that circle is obviously being killed off. You could see people being killed off screen and behind them and everything. So he's walking, and I guess the guy doesn't see him, even though it's right in front of him. He just walks right by, and he just goes, "Oh, I'm gonna go right over here." And then he sits with the people, and then me and my friend just go, "How did he not see him?" So then pretty much right after that scene, he escapes somehow. I can't remember what happens, but he's like walking with these people to a boat, and then he somehow leaves, or like he goes somewhere else. And he's on a boat, and he's just swimming away, well, like paddling away, saying, "Oh, I'll save my mother, avenge my father." Forgot the last thing, but he's just repeating it and repeating it. And then no title card yet. I was expecting a title card, but the title card happens at the end of the movie. I like the title cards when they happen, like, very out of nowhere. But there's a very cool introduction scene where I thought the title card was going to happen. And if it did, it felt really, really cool and unique. But they didn't do it. But anyway, so it's just, years later now. And a boat passes by, people are chanting, they're paddling, and we get to see our main character beefed up, alright? He leveled up, ain't no kid anymore, he's the hottest man on the planet, and he's paddling away, has a beard, and not dreadlocks, just like huge strains of hair and everything, and they're just shooting innocent passengers by, and he's just... So, and then right afterwards, they get to a land, and then the movie basically just goes off the rails here. It cuts to black, and then we see this man basically doing something with his eyes, chanting and everything, and everybody in the background is just howling like wolves, and he's just chanting, right? He's just banging his drums or bongo or whatever it is, his gong, and just going around a campfire while it's raining, and they're all acting like animals, just howling the whole time, and they're screaming their head off afterwards. The guy is chanting, he starts chanting louder, and then they're screaming like as if they're getting stabbed to death. And I thought it was like kind of funny for a bit, but then I was like, wow, okay, so then this is a different type of movie I'm used to. So I better get with the roll with it, and not laugh at very serious scenes. So they're yelling and everything. And they're yelling and everything, and right afterwards, it's daytime. So they finish doing that. It's daytime. They're getting ready for a raid. They all have their wolf husky rugs. I don't know. I don't really know what the correct term is, or whatever terminology, but yeah, they had these rugs on, and so they're trying to get headed to the base, and this is where basically the first action scene of the movie happens, and it's quite crazy. So they're walking up to the base. Someone from the base sees them, and pretty much they throw a spear. The main character grabs it mid throw, turns around, like does a little 360, flings it back, and shoots it straight through the guy's neck. Okay? The guy falls down, they're yelling, they start charging because everybody knows they're there, so they can't be sneaky anymore. They come in, everybody's getting dominated. Left and right, children are dying, women are dying, men are dying. They are going into houses, stabbing them through the eye, stabbing them through the throat, cutting off their fucking arms, slicing their neck, cutting off their neck. It is absolutely gruesome. And like they're like pushing women and everything. They're being as huge dicks as possible. But you also have to understand this is back in Viking days, so this is probably how they acted and everything. And obviously they're raiding. They're trying to take over. And if anybody tries to stop them, they're gonna kill them. So then there's a scene where this guy is shooting an arrow, right? Like where he's shooting at our main character with an arrow. So he shoots once. The main character just goes, whew, has spidey sense all of a sudden, and then immediately right afterwards, he's just walking towards this guy, and then he's letting his comrades walk with him, but instead of shooting the same guy you shot at, the guy with the arrow is shooting at his comrades, which I thought was weird. Just shoot at that guy first because he dodged the arrow, so he's obviously a threat. He knows everything so far, and he does it. So then he starts charging at him with an axe. Ooh, excuse me. Starts charging at him with an axe, and then he tries to attack him. He misses. Main character slices his neck, falls down to the ground, and they pretty much finish with the siege. They got everything. Everyone is theirs, and they basically they take over everything. And then for one part of the scene, I guess, they start stuffing people in a house. Mainly women and children. Don't know why. Well, I do know why because I saw the movie and everything. But anyway, the point is, so they start stuffing them in this house, and the main character's talking with this, I guess, leader, whatsoever. And right afterwards, they start lighting up their torches, and there's at least 100 people and 100 men and children, no, women and children in this house. They light up a torch, burn that house down, and it's a very, very long shot. It's just the house burning down and everything, and then cut to black. So everybody's sleeping. Main character's doing his nightly walkarounds, and he sees his house. It looks quite mysterious. He walks inside. There's a lady with a mask and everything, with smoke, and looks very cryptic as fuck. So the lady's telling him, "Oh, it is your destiny to avenge your father and basically be a beast, Odin, something, basically mythical crap." I can't quite remember it. There's a lot of things to unpack from this movie. I really wish I brought a notepad. I think I'm gonna do that next time when I go watch a movie and everything. I'm gonna bring a notepad and write down everything. And be like, okay, so this happens, so I know what to talk about, because there's a lot to unpack. So sorry if I can't remember everything detail to detail. So she's just talking about Odin and everything, or how you're supposed to fight. You're gonna fight with this amazing sword or something. No, that's later on in the movie. Whoops, skipping a lot. and pretty much that's it. So cuts to black and everything, and then the guy has a change of heart. He just feels bad for doing the siege, or whatever. So that he basically cuts off his hair and everything, and he wants to escape. So he marks himself. I don't know what the reason is for, but he marks himself and he jumps onto this boat. And there was this lady when they were doing the siege that recognized him. She also recognizes him when she's on the boat, and she's one of the side characters. I can't quite remember her name, but other than that, yeah, she recognizes him. She tells him, saying, "Oh, you can't trick me. Well, you can trick everyone, but you can't trick me. I know who you are. Your little sheep in the wolf's clothing isn't gonna help you out here." And they're all saying this in the middle of a rainstorm. Okay, so everything is like hitting them, and they're trying to get to shore. It's just rocking back and forth. I'm pretty sure some people should have gotten thrown overboard, but they didn't. Actually, before I continue on any further, I missed an important plot point. So the lady that he was talking to inside the house, the cryptic lady, was telling him that you have to go kill the guy that killed your father. She tells him the name and everything, and then that's when he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go leave the camp, and then go kill this guy." So that's why he's on the boat with these people. Completely forgot about that. That's quite annoying. So right after they make it to shore, and then someone's dead, right? They make it to shore, and they're all being slaved away. They see the basically the main bad guy is there, and they see the guy, the main character, and they're like, "Oh, what can you do? Oh, let's just kill him or throw him away or whatever." And the guy acts like a wild beast, right? Whatever. It's basically trying to show that he's untamed. And then pretty much they're like, "Okay, sure, I guess we'll keep him." And that's pretty much the gist of it so far. Wow, this is a pretty long movie to unpack. Let's just say right afterwards, it's just basically, you already know what's going to happen. It's just day by day, he's slowly trying to find ways to kill this guy. And then eventually he finds his cave where basically it's the old man that was chanting at the beginning of the movie. He has the head of William Dafoe, basically the one that, was helping him, trying to find his fate, his destiny, his path. And then he's telling him, saying that, "Oh, you're going to wield a sword that can only be unsheathed at night, not by day. And you would use it to stop all your foes and everything, and you'll fight at the gates of hell," or something around there. Yeah, next time I'm 100% bringing a notepad. So afterwards, he has that, and he's like, "Okay, so this is what I'm going to use to kill." And yeah, so night by night, he starts killing off the people one by one, so he doesn't make suspicious. And I mean, obviously, they get suspicious that people are dying, and they're getting mad and everything. And they basically shrug it off for some reason. And then they go and do this festival, right? And they ask if our main character can fight. And this man can fight, let me tell you. And right afterwards, they're basically having this little contest where they're going against 5 people trying to throw this ball or this fruit. And they're all basically killing each other one by one. And on one side, there's this like really, really buff dude. And there's one side, the main character, he's also the only really buff dude on that team. You already know where this is going. So everybody else is dead. It's just them two. The kid, not the kid, the king, basically the villain, since he's the king of that kingdom now, he has a son, and he's kind of a spoiled brat or whatever, and he hates that. He doesn't want their team to lose, so he walks inside the race, and he's not supposed to because it's 2 people fighting to the death, and he grabs the ball and he's running, and obviously the other servant, not the main character, the other guy on the other team, he doesn't realize, or maybe he does, and he just didn't care. He just wanted to win the game, and so he's running after the kid. It's I don't know how strong these people are, but he pushes him once, and when he falls, it looks like he's just dead right there with the blood coming like out of his head and out of his nose. And I was like, did he just die off a push? And I mean, he's a little kid, but I mean, I wouldn't die if someone just goes, through, that's it, and then you fall to the ground. So immediately right afterwards, after everybody thinks the kid is dead, and the main character gets on the guy, starts punching him, and just beats him to death with his head. He's just headbutting him until his head cracks open. You don't see it, but you can hear everything, and it just sounds disgusting. And then right afterwards, they say, "Oh, thank you. We trust you. You're still a slave, but we're gonna make your slave work a little less horrible." And pretty much that's the gist of it. And then the guy's like, "Okay, whatever." Well, he doesn't really answer it, but that's pretty much it. And then right when they get back to camp, that's when they start killing off people one by one. And our side character with the girl falls in love with him slowly by slowly. They're like talking about the plan and everything, and then you can see how she started to feel towards him. So they killed off these two people that are apparently very important to this side character. He's very mad. The king's saying, "Oh, calm yourself. They're just friends or whatever. You need to show that you're a strong leader. Take them away." And, everybody's just freaking out. And then they're trying to do a sacrifice, pretty much. They're like saying, "Oh, it's an evil spirit. And we have to cleanse this place before we continue doing anything." So at night, while they're cleansing it, pretty much the guy, the main character, he has a sword, and he starts killing off people while they're cleansing it, and while they're trying to do the cleanse, and they have this lady tied up and everything. Something happens, I forgot. They make a noise, and then they go outside. Somebody's dead, and then they go back to the sacrifice area. The lady isn't there anymore, and instead is the person that was doing the sacrifice, all tied up with someone hanging with their guts out and their penis chopped off. So that was also that. And it was quite a scene to see in the movie. I can tell you that. So then, right after, since the cleansing doesn't work, they basically, so the side character, the lady that falls in love with the main character, she has this poison mushroom, and they're basically gonna try poisoning everybody. Because they say, "Oh, the cleansing isn't gonna work, so we're gonna keep you guys all outside. Maybe it's someone that's coming in and out and slowly killing everyone. So we're going to have you guys all die while we, live." And so the lady makes the poison, gives it to everybody. Well, gives it to every enemy. And they're slowly having hallucinations, and they start stabbing themselves and they start killing themselves. Which is a pretty cool scene, not going to lie, because you get to see everything that's happening. And once they start hallucinating, the guy is able to get out and basically look for the person that killed his father. And you think, "Oh, okay, so this is basically the turning point." So he doesn't find the person, but he finds his mother. So I forgot to say at the beginning, when everybody's dying, the brother took the queen, and that's basically the main character's mother, and is just, everybody thinks that she's basically his now. You know how it is. "Oh, I own you, so you're mine. You're gonna do my bidding, and you're gonna, you're gonna do things for me." So he finds his mother, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm here to save you," and everything. And a plot twist: his mother actually ordered for the king, his father, to die. She had an affair with a brother, and she didn't really care for the son for her son. She felt like he was a burden, and she was just an overall piece of shit. So it's a pretty big part of this in the movie, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this. So the guy is like, he's freaking out, he's screaming, he's like, oh no, you're wrong, you're you're trying to deceive me and everything. He walks out, and then he finds one of the right hand man to the to the villain, and he stabs him in his sleep. And it's a pretty big scene because apparently the right hand man is the son of the villain. So he's like crying and everything. And now, since everybody knows who the main character is, his secret is out. He left so he could go do his own thing. Well, basically, he's gonna come back to kill him, but he just doesn't want to get caught right now. And since they're trying to get him out and trying to figure out where he is, they start slowly killing off the slaves one by one to figure it out. So then the guy comes back, the main character, and he's holding the king's son's heart, and he's saying because he's about to kill the lady that he's in love with, and he says, if you let her go, I'll give you your son's heart back. And apparently it's about honor or something with the heart, so obviously he agrees with it, but like he's tries to kill him first. He's like saying, oh, attack him, and it's a full-on fist fight with a bunch of people. The lady escapes, and they're fighting, and the main character loses, and this is where I thought the movie made a big mistake. So main character loses, he has the heart, and he doesn't kill them. So he's just talking to him, doing his evil bad guy monologues, pointing the sword at him. And obviously there's a trick. The main character says that's not actually your son's heart. Maybe it's a dog's heart or a pig's heart. And they're mad, and they're interrogating him. They're beating him up. And they said, oh, they're basically gonna kill him later if they don't find. They're gonna find the heart regardless, and they're gonna kill him with if they find they don't really need him. They're gonna find it. So they leave him alone, still alive, and one of the guards has the guy's sword. He's trying to pull it out, but it's daytime, and you can't pull it out when it's daytime. So he's trying to pull it out, and he's like, forget it. Then throws it near him and walks out of the barn with no one watching over him. That's some pretty dumb writing, if you say so. If I say so myself, but I was letting it slide, and basically Odin is watching over the main character, and while he's being tied up, ravens are pecking at the rope that he's being tied up with, and he was able to escape. So once he escapes, he's on the ground, basically knocked out cold, and then we get this weird, but like movie wise, like average movie goer and everything, very weird scene. So he's basically hallucinating that he's riding with the Valkyrie from Norse mythology. The people with Thor. I mean, not Thor, Odin. I'm not really I don't really know any of that type of stuff. So I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as possible as I can. And so he's riding with this lady, and she's screaming into the mountaintops, and then she's just basically going towards the light. And then the character wakes up. And then immediately right afterwards, we find out that the main love interest was technically the lady that was riding out with him, because she was able to rescue him and take him somewhere else. And then this is where we reach our third act in the movie, where everything just goes bonkers. Basically, they all decide, all right, so this is it. We're gonna go over there and we're gonna kill and everything. But first, let's put you somewhere safe. So while they're going somewhere to find a safe place to stay at basically after when they're done killing everyone, they're just gonna lay low over here. The guy realizes, oh, I don't really want to kill them anymore. I don't want to be this wild, untamed beast. I'm like, he's saying I'm happy with you and everything. And then he finds out that she's pregnant with twins. And then that changes his perspective, and he's like, "Oh my God! If he finds out that you have kids, he will hunt you. He will hunt us down, and he will kill us. So I have to go kill him, even though it costs my life." Lady's screaming and everything, but he's already made up decision. And then the big climactic battle starts. So he makes it over there. It's nighttime and everything. He's killing everyone in sight. There's this one scene where he like has someone stuck to the wall, grabs the sword, points it at his nose, and just slowly digs into his skull, which is absolutely gruesome, but whatever. And then there's another scene where this guy walks into a building, but he's literally holding onto his guts, falls down on the ground, and then he's looking for the villain, can't find him anywhere. So he goes to where the mother was at just to see if she was still there. Um, while he's looking around, she has a sneak attack on him, and she slices him for a bit. She slices him on the arm, then she slices him on the stomach. Obviously, they're having a big talk and everything, and they're fighting it out. And then he kills the mom. Stabs her in the heart, and her last final words to her own son were just "thank you." And then since she was watching over the little kid that got pushed earlier, the king's son, jumps on our main character and starts stabbing him slowly, like, a little annoying brat, like from Chucky or whatever. He's just stabbing him repeatedly on the back, and then the guy throws a child, and while he's throwing a child, he slices his stomach open, kills the child and everything. So he's just like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" and everything. And then the main villain is right in front of him. Right? You think it's gonna be a big fight right then and there. It's not. So he picks up the child, and then he picks up the wife, and he goes, "We're gonna fight at the gates of hell," which I don't really know, but from the movie, it's like a big volcano with lava. So, so he walks away. That was also a dumb decision. I mean, it's not really a dumb decision. You're trying to set up a big fight. But at the same time, this guy's been waiting for this moment. He could have easily just, like, while he's, like, dragging away his wife and child, he could have easily just stabbed him in the back or something. But no, honor, right? So they go their separate ways, and then it just cuts to the main character riding on a horse, going to the gates of hell. And then when he gets over there, he sees the child and the mom on the ground being burned up with ashes all over them. And he's just, saying, "I'm sorry," or whatever, "but this has to be done. This is my fate. This is my destiny. I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mom." Yada, yada, yada. So afterwards, everything is dark. It's just pitch black, fire in the background. Main character is walking. He's naked. Well, he's not naked, but like he has underwear on, and it's just big chanting, boom, boom, boom. And then while he's walking, main villain comes out of nowhere, tries to do a sneak attack, and it's a full-on brawl with shield and sword, screaming, fighting each other. Main character gets a couple of licks on the main villain. The main villain gets a couple of shots at main character, and then he pretty much almost kills the main character. The main character is on his knees, panting. He's basically like his arm isn't cut off, but half his arm is just detached from his body, and it's just like just flinging there, and he's just like breathing very fast, and he looks up at the guy. And then the guy, I think the main villain goes, "Oh, you fought well. You're going to die just like your father. You're just as pathetic as him." And then the main character just has that anime moment where he's screaming, and he's just like, "Oh!" He gets up, and then they're both screaming, going at each other. And then there's just a slow-mo shot of the main character slicing off the main villain's head. But main character is stabbed. He is stabbed through the heart, and you already know where this is going. He's going to die. He falls down. He's slowly shedding a tear. He's reminiscing about everything. And then he's reminiscing about how Odin chose him to be like a worthy beast, a successor. And so he could go to Valhalla. And slowly you can see his like soul being with the Valkyrie that was walking to Valhalla. But then you can see the gates open. And it's just going through. Then that's pretty much the end of the movie. I gave it a very, very, very short version synopsis of the movie. This movie is really long, and I'm pretty sure I left out a lot of scenes. But yeah, I didn't bring a notepad. Next time I will, I promise. But as you can tell, the movie is very complex, and it has a lot of symbolism and about fate and everything. And I really enjoyed it. Like I said, you can't really talk about this movie in a non-spoiler review because it's hard not to spoil anything in this movie because every little thing is pretty much important. That being said, like I said, there are some scenes where the main character should have died 100%, or the main villain should have died earlier than he should have. So, but that's just me. Yeah, I guess that'll be it for the spoilers section for this video. Like I said before, really liked the movie. Quite enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say. I hope they make more types of these movies. And I hope this movie gets a lot of money from the box office. It deserves it. I really do think it deserves it. It gives top worthy performance from every single actor in the movie, and you feel for it. And then the soundtrack is absolutely gorgeous. So, but other than that, I guess this will be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you managed to stick through this whole thing of me ranting, not ranting, of me talking about the movie, good for you. I'll give you a pat on the back one day whenever I see you. Other than that, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. See ya.